You know what's crazy is that I trained so well for it, it didn't feel that hard. 9 months of training, and once you do all that, it's like, oh, I can do this now. So yeah, there was its challenges. I have an amazing medical staff, a massage therapist, a chiro, and a physiotherapist on hand. But with their help, it made the job really smooth. Like all I had to do was think about running, which is what you want.
You had so many people, you had some doubters out there who said Noah is the best at 200 meters, but we don't think he can be a world champion in the 100 meters. So how satisfying or gratifying was it actually then, Noah, to prove a lot of people wrong and to win the 100 meter in the world championship?
I've been proving people wrong my whole life. It just
Yeah.
comes with the territory. If people aren't hating on you, you must not be doing something right. So it's just noise in the back. Of course, it's gonna affect you somewhat, but knowing how to deal with it is just what makes you a professional, to be honest. It's just what comes with when you attempt to do something great, people aren't gonna doubt it. And in my head, I'm always been like, in their head, they're the ones who can't fathom the idea. But I've always been able to fathom it. And that's how I know it's gonna come true.
So you pretty much knew that you knew you were going to be here at some point, despite
Oh
what
yeah.
people might have been saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been telling people for years, they just don't listen or they don't believe. But that's their problem.
Yeah, now they do though.
Oh yeah, they finally along for the ride. I mean, some of them still hating, but they ain't got no choice now.
Have you noticed that just more popularity? If not just you personally, but just a lot of people talking about the sport of track and field. Have you noticed that? Because it seems like it's getting more attention than maybe it has in a long time, at least here in America.
Yeah, I've definitely been trying my hardest. I mean, a lot of people believe that my ideal, career is, break world records and get a whole bunch of Olympic medals. But to be honest, at the end of the day, I want to just transcend the sport and take the sport with me. And I've definitely seen some movement. I've been really trying to get, a lot of the athletes to get into this idea of pushing their own narrative and setting examples because if I can't even show them how to do it, that's then what am I to just say that you should be doing this. But I've really been pushing them, trying to get outside the box, use new ideas, use different social media platforms, not talk about just running, but show people a whole character.
Well, you certainly made some waves after. I don't know if it was after the 4x100 or the two. I can't remember which one.
I think it was the
Uh,
two.
it was the two. Okay, so
Yeah, I know what
what?
you're talking about.
What? In and I love that you said it. But you, Noah, in hindsight, did you wish you didn't say it? Are you happy you did? What has that all been like? Because not only do you perform amazing at the competition, but obviously then you've got all of these NBA stars. You've got Kevin
Yeah.
Durant talking about you. What was that controversy like?
No, it was a pretty funny moment. I mean, I've been saying it for years. I mean, the whole world has been saying it for years. It's just they decided to listen this time. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like, wait, I think I've heard this guy, and he said what? And it's like, yeah, it's that situation, and the reaction just kind of proved the point even more. I know, I'm an American. I know how the U.S. views itself, and we want to make everything the biggest and the best. And I do think that the point was lost because not everybody watched the full clip.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was talking about how I see what we do to our national championships. I just want the same thing for our world champions, and we're a sport where we're bringing in the most medals every year. And it's like nobody even knows because they don't pay attention. And that's not to knock what the NBA does. I love that they're wearing the hats. I'm trying to
Yeah.
bring that stuff over into track and field because I'm trying to show my sport what we could be. And everybody's just like, no, 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 I'm just like, no, they know what they're doing. Like, we need to be stepping up too.
Did any of the players, did anybody reach out to you either to argue with you or to say, hey, maybe you've got a point, Noah?
Now, I have a lot of, so my massage therapist works with actually a lot of NBA players, and most of them are international. So a
Yeah.
lot of the international players have been like, oh man, you're so right. I've had a few NFL players be like, yeah, like I definitely feel what you're talking about,
Yeah.
man. Just, keep your head. Don't worry about people say. I think the funniest thing that's probably happened is that I was just literally in the club because I was celebrating from, Worlds, and all of a sudden my friends are blowing on my phone. They're just like, bro, like you got the whole NBA on your head and all this other stuff. He's like, Kevin Durant's talking. And I'm just like, Kevin Durant's always talking. Like,
Right.
that's
That's
nothing. I'm like, what are they even mad about? I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They decided to listen. And then all of a sudden, Drake over here saying stuff. I'm like, yeah, just go home, buddy. Go home.
right when you've got Drake weighing in. That's funny. What made you decide, Noah, to run in the Diamond League Finals? I could see you saying, "I've run enough lately.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a few weeks off here and just kind of relax."
Yeah, I was truly after running that Zurich meet, I was exhausted. I was like, oh gosh, I can't do this. But it was literally less than a week since I had run at World Championships when I ran in Zurich. So at the moment, I was just like, I was just feeling what I was feeling. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was like, I was feeling good before going in the race, but I didn't run nearly as good as I have been all season. So I was just like, I think this is a good place to stop. I end up going to the Adidas headquarters. I'm, shaking out, and I'm like, you know what? I think I got one more in me. But I had to make sure that my massage therapist was going to be available to put me back together after Worlds. So she said she was going to be able to work on me, and I was like, all right, that's all I needed to hear. I'm like, let's get one more in.
That's amazing. And how about you know how do you move forward now with the Olympics coming up, and obviously that being as important as it is? What's sort of the mindset, and what does the time between now and the Olympics look like for you?
So I'd say right between now and the Olympics, it's just going to be resetting the clock. It's going back to training, getting your endurance up. It's going to be a lot of, just pushing the boundaries a little bit more than we did last year. A lot of people don't know, they don't know what I do in practice, but I can tell you that the dial can keep going. If I trained at, probably at 8 this year, let's turn it up to 9 to 9.5 next year. I'm still waiting for my coach to really start trying to make me pass out at practice, and that's kind of like how we're going to be doing it, sprinkled in with probably a lot of media. It's the Olympics, so I got Olympic
Yeah.
sponsors, so they all want to do their photo shoots and their media days and have me reading prompts. So we got to get those in, of course. And then, the Netflix series is coming out, so
Yeah,
they'll be around for
that's
sure.
amazing.
And, other than that, we'll just see what the year takes.
I know they really wanted you to break the Usain's 200-meter record, but you had run so much by then. Is that something that's attainable?
No, it's still very much attainable.
Yeah.
The thing about records are it has to be on the right day with the right
Yeah.
weather, with the right crowd, with the right competition. Like there's so many things that have to happen. It's not just you're in shape to do it. It's everything has to really be perfect. So world records are always those things where it's like, hey, if you're in shape and the moment is there, take advantage of it. But on world championships, all that matters is that you win. Because I promise you, we're not going to be talking about how Noah didn't break the world record that day. They're going to be talking about how Noah won 3 gold medals that day.